It's David Ducker coming back at you, and today I'm issuing a challenge to you. I want you, as a GM, as a player, to incorporate an elderly character into your next campaign, your next one shot, your next session, whatever it is. If you're a player, try playing an elderly character, someone over the age of 60. If you're a GM, introduce an NPC over the age of 60. This is something I don't see done often enough. Some rule sets won't even let you do it. If you're playing Pathfinder, you're in for a world of hurt trying to figure out what level an old man should be, or an old woman, or an ancient elf. An elf, of course, probably should be like over the age of 600 rather than over the age of 60, but you get my meaning. Someone with a wealth, a lifetime of experience to draw from, but who no longer has that physical facility to fight, to defend themselves, to move around very well. Often elderly characters make excellent quest givers because they have a real reason not to go into the field, because they just can't move around well. They're prone to sickness. They're prone to weakness. Your muscles deteriorate, your bones deteriorate, your old injuries flare up in the weather. You might be going senile or blind. He might have lost his legs in a car accident at some point. But he's had all this time. He has grandchildren. He has friends that have passed on. He has, perhaps his wife has passed on. Or as Rogue GM would remind me, let's make it female. The old kindly grandmother, or maybe the scheming matriarch, the power behind the throne. There's so many excellent aged characters that you can incorporate into the game. And they have a completely different perspective. They think long term. They've experienced it all. They tend to be much more tempered and weathered. They're not as fiery and rambunctious and compulsive. They think ahead, generally. And then again, you could go into senility and go the other way. You could have the man or the woman who's never learned a lesson in her whole life. She's still fiery, rambunctious, 65 years old, doing whiskey shooters, sipping up back on some peppermint schnapps. And you have this irascible old woman character, who might be extremely lecherous. And she's wealthy, and she's got the young slave boys fucking fanning her with their oiled torsos. That could be an interesting character to bring in. And it creates a great role-playing opportunities. Is this someone you'd usually fight, but maybe you don't want to put the beat down on an old woman? Is this, again, someone who needs your help for something? Your great-great-great-grandmother who's still alive and is blind and can't move or see, but she was there at this important event, this battle, and you need to know what happened to the king's sword. And she saw what happened. She might be blind now, but at the time she saw what happened to the king's sword. So these can be eyewitnesses of events long past. And as a player character, that can be very interesting as well. I'm going to come out of retirement to kick your ass. And have this character who was really strong and physically fit and mobile in her day come back, and all of those assets are gone. She can say, I used to be so fast. And now she has to rely on tactics and cunning and skill, anticipation, trickery. And maybe that wasn't her original fighting style. In her youth, maybe she was a big brute, beating the garbage out of people. But now she has to be more intellectual. Her strength has left her. That can be such an interesting character to play. This person struggling with their body, letting them down, failing them physically, and trying to recapture the glory, trying to set her grandchildren on the right path for the future. So this is my GM challenge to you. Make an old character, make a senior citizen, inject them into your game as a player, as an NPC, as a quest giver, as whatever you want it to be. And leave the results in the comments below. I'll be coming back with more GM challenges in the weeks to come. So until I see you again, good day and good gaming.